Rising. Welcome, Rising. How about that? Thank you so much for joining us this morning. On Monday, not run and they shall not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. And that's from Isaiah 40 and 31 from the New King James Version. Let the church say amen. 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 If you enjoyed that word for the day for Dr. King, please type that in there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. But right now, I think you want to hear what is going to be said by an awesome young man. Mm, 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 mm. There's just so much I can say, but I want him to be the one to say it. He's an author. He is a world traveler. He is a man of God. And after saying man of God, I don't have to say anything else, do it. But let's bring him to the stage. Right on, my brother. Brother Rahsaan Liddell. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, absolutely, Rahsaan. Yep, Rahsaan.
Thank you so much for joining us here this morning on the Female Solution. Grand Rising and welcome to this day, my brother. You are a breath of fresh air. So
Oh,
thank you for being here this morning. Oh, and kudos to two people before we get started. Let's thank your granny, honey. Let me see how right. Armagia.
Margia.
Amargia, excuse me. Amargia. I got it right, Granny. Amargia. I got it right, girl. I got it. Thank you for having your grandbaby on here this morning because your grandbaby, y'all raised him right. That's all I got to say. And for brother Reverend Dr. Lawrence Lanua, kudos, because he is the one who is responsible for you being here. So I'm not going to take up any more of your talking time. I want you to tell the people this cultural passport from the Shah to Shanghai. How many brothers do you know go to Shanghai? I don't know any, but I know one now. So Liddell, I'm not gonna call you Mr. Liddell. I'm gonna call you Rahsaan. Is that okay?
Absolutely, that's fine. That's fine.
Rahsaan, you got to tell us about this journey while I pull up some information here that to share with our viewing audience. Please go right ahead.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate you, sharing your platform and giving me an opportunity to share my experience and to share a little bit about what I'm working on and where I'm going. I want to kind of just quickly touch upon something that you said about Dr. King, and one of the things that during undergrad that when I was studying civil rights is that Dr. King he thought globally, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he did, and he felt that it was important to understand the world, and so for me. Knowing that and studying the civil rights movement, that kind of planted a seed about the world, for example, a place like China, and it kind of led, in a sense, to Global Pathways, which is the organization that I've founded. So I just wanted to acknowledge Dr. King and what he did for the world, really, and to just give thanks to everything that he did and for being an inspiration for so many people. So I did want to say that, but Zelda, maybe I'll just kind of give you an overview. I'm an educator, and I'm a public school teacher, and I'm the founder of Global Pathways Education and Publishing. I'm also an African American educator that is fluent in Mandarin, and I spent nearly 10 years in China.
Ni hao.
Hey, whoa! All right, she know. Ni hao, ma.
That's all I know.
That's a good start. That's a good start. Ni hao.
That's all I know.
Yeah,
and let me tell you why I know that.
Okay.
Because we teach podcast training at Betty Shabazz International Charter School.
Okay.
And the executive producer of this show, Dr. Naima Latif, has a niece that lives in China.
Okay.
And we thought it would be nice to combine the students. So we've had our China experience. We'll continue to have, but I just had to throw that in there. So thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, well, yeah, I spent nearly a decade in China, living there and working also as an educator. And so right now, the work that I do, it centers on language, it centers on culture, and it centers on global citizenship. So So yeah, I can. Okay, so you're pulling up our website.
Mm-hmm.
So the name of our organization is Global Pathways, and it's an education and cultural organizations that's centered on Mandarin language, Chinese culture, and like I mentioned before, it centers global citizenship. And and that's essentially what we do is we help students to build language ability, uh,
Mm-hmm.
cultural fluency, if you will, and we try.
Cultural fluency. You need to speak on that. Explain that a little bit.
Yeah, so that means being comfortable and knowledgeable about not only your immediate background, your immediate environment, but also being um, what can I say? What my goal is to have the students um, to be understanding of other cultures, to be able to communicate well as it relates to their world outside of their immediate experience. And that's what I mean by cultural fluency, being able to
Mm.
not only speak knowledgeably about your immediate surroundings, but consider yourself as part of the global and part of the global citizenry, if you will, and be able to speak comfortably on topics outside of what's just typical in our environments. So
I'm so glad you said that because we are breaking out of this way of thinking, being, and living. We are moving beyond the US into global territories. And I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and a lot of those videos have a lot to do with the continent of Asia. So I'm glad that you're speaking on that because we even have had a sister, Zoe Ma, who was on the Female Solution, and she was always on us about you got to get to China, you got to get to China. And now I am beginning to understand why, because there are so many people who are leaving the U.S. and going abroad.
that's true. That's true. And not only are they leaving and going abroad, there's so many opportunities abroad that we can take advantage of when we travel abroad, or even here in the United States. That kind of ties to the importance of learning Mandarin. So, for example, many people may not be aware of it, but China is the manufacturing capital of the world.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Everything, look in your apartment, your house, wherever you live, there is something in there. Over half the stuff in there, probably
Yeah.
3/4 of the stuff that's in there is
Right.
from China. Don't
Okay.
believe me? Just go look on the back of the tag and see what it say.
Yeah, sure. So that presents opportunities to not only, let's say, for instance, if you did go to China, you could go into be an entrepreneur there. For example, while I was there, in addition to teaching, I also opened and founded an English training academy, the American English Academy. And
Mm.
yeah, and while I was there, I was helping students that wanted to come to the United States to study at the university level. But in order to do that, they would have to be able to pass certain exams, the TESOL exams. So my school was designed to help those that wanted to come to the United States to study, or to English speaking countries.
Oh, I saw.
So that's one opportunity. Another opportunity would be to work for a multinational corporation that has a presence in China,
Mm.
or was here locally. So many different opportunities. But yeah, a lot of people are moving abroad. That is very true.
Mm. Wonderful. I am glad to hear that because there are just so many other opportunities. My first chance of leaving this country was in 1997. I got a speaking engagement in is it South Africa? Yeah, South Africa.
Okay. Wow.
And when you leave here, you have got everybody who's listening. You have and tell everybody you know. You have got to visit other countries. You have got to because we are in a box in this country. We only know what they show us on the media.
That's
And
true.
as a former, well, I am a member of the media, but
Yeah.
the right one. They don't show inclusiveness. They show divisiveness.
Mhm.
And we have got to overcome that. And this is one of the ways to do it with the global pathway. I am just
That's
loving
right.
it.
Yeah.
English Corners, reimagined for Chicago. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so our Chinese Corner, that's one of the initiatives that's under the umbrella of the Global Pathways Cultural Foundation. So we have two parts. We have our Global Pathways Cultural Foundation, which is our philanthropic arm. And that organization is responsible for things like scholarships, micro grants. And under
Mm,
that organization as well, we also offer an opportunity for anyone who's interested in learning a little bit about China
mm-hmm.
or wants to practice speaking Chinese with Chinese natives. What we do is here at our studios, we're on the south side. We're located on 90th and Western in the Beverly community. And what
Mm.
we do is we open our doors every Wednesday for what we call a Chinese corner. And this name is kind of odd. So maybe if I can give you a little bit of the backstory on that.
Please do. Please do.
Okay. So something that's very popular in China, something that I found amazing when I arrived there, is that English is such a popular thing it's very popular in China. And so what they will do in China is that once a week, Chinese those that are Chinese aficionados or just want to learn more about Western culture, they'll meet once a week and they will just speak nothing but English to one another. And
Mm.
yeah, so they'll meet at a tea house, they'll meet at a park. It's just an open space where they gather just to practice speaking Chinese with one another in order to develop their fluency. And they call it an English corner. And this is popular. Yeah,
Ah,
right.
okay.
So I just use that same name and kind of, re-engineered it, so to speak, and we call it our Chinese corner. And all we do is we get together once a week, and we might talk about we may talk about current affairs. Oftentimes, I'll have students that are studying Mandarin. There are so many schools that are studying Mandarin. Lindblom Math and Science Academy has a Mandarin program. Kenwood has a Mandarin program. The school that I'm at, Murray Language Academy in Hyde Park, has a Mandarin language program. But what happens is that students don't often have a chance to practice the speaking. They learn how to read, they learn how to write, but they don't have time to practice the speaking. So
Oh.
what we do here is we give them a chance to actually practice speaking and listening to help them gain confidence. So,
Mm.
yeah, so that's
That
the Chinese corner.
that is awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that is a good corner to be in, but right now we got to come out of this corner and take our next break. So stay close and we'll be right back. You all text this, share it, like it, and share it. Now let me say this before we go to our commercial break. And that is if you are enjoying this show, you say you enjoy the show because you show up every Monday morning. So I need you to like, subscribe, and share and comment. I need you to do that. And if you can do that uh, during this commercial break, say you love me. Show me that you love me. Zelda Speaks. Welcome back to Monday Morning Mindfulness. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for caring. And thank you for taking the time to know that this is the right place at the right time because we are here with Master international, global teacher, travel, entrepreneur, businessman, Mr. Rahsaan Liddell. Thank you, and Granny for letting you come on here this morning. Let me get that name right. Amargia. Amargia. I got
Yeah,
it right.
that's right.
I got it
That's
right.
right.
Oh, we got some comments here. Let's see what the comments say. Okay. Jean Lockett says, thank you, my sister. Thank you for being on the show on Monday Morning Mindfulness. Now, I believe she has a show as well. She's a new sister on the Female Solution. So be sure and tell me the name of your show because I forgot it. I'm a senior. I have senior moments. Charge it to the head, not to the heart. Okay. And thank you, Reginald Griffin. Thank you, Mr. Reginald Griffin. And thank you, Jean. She says I'm breathing. Thank you, girl, because we all need to breathe. Breathe the stress away. Breathe it away. Reverend Dr. Lawrence Lenoir says he is doing a fantastic job because many of our youth are compartmentalized and trapped in their communities. Therefore, the impoverished urban culture is all they ever experience. You ain't never lied. They need to know that the world is their backyard as well as their classroom, and this is what Rahsaan teaches them. Amen, 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 amen. And give a shout out to Wendy, my girl Wendy. Thank you so much for being there with her as a dedicated husband always is. Thank you much. Hey, Wendy. Did I say Wendy? Lord, Heidi. Hello. Hi, Heidi. Where I get Wendy from? Wendy is one of our female solution hosts too. And my sister from another Mister Vieta Robinson says, Grand Rising. Learning a lot this new day about China. Yes. Why do we hear so much negative talk from our government about China? That's a question for you to answer, Liddell.
Ooh-wee.
Rahsaan.
Yes, yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, that's quite the geopolitical question now, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you answer that one.
Well, we're competitors.
Mm,
Let's make that clear.
mm,
China has been developing, and it's very close to rivaling the United States in terms of its superpower status. And so, unfortunately, one of the things that happens is that here. So, for example, here in the U.S., the way we are, again, this kind of speaks to what you spoke earlier. The
mhm,
way things are presented aren't necessarily the way they actually are. And so
mm,
there's misinformation on both sides,
mhm,
but that shapes our thinking about Asia
mhm,
and vice versa, and vice
mhm,
versa. So, for example, for me, my experience in China, um, their what they thought, their expectation of me while I was in China was informed by stereotypes,
mhm, mhm,
informed by the media,
mhm.
and you know, I didn't take any of that personally because I understood where it was coming from. And so, I, when we talk about the way these two countries are competing with one another, it's just good to step back and just do your own independent research because not to get geopolitical, but we're being propagandized at all times.
At all times.
At all times.
In radio, it's called programming.
Okay.
Every Monday morning at 10 a.m., there is a meeting with the program director, the music director, and the marketing director of the radio station of any business, but especially radio. And they program the music with a certain frequency that we all just love and that we just bounce into, but they don't realize that the frequency is not your friend from that music. And I'm just saying, don't believe nothing I say. Do your homework. Moving forward,
You have to do your independent research.
it's all about the programming, and we have been programming to the hilt. We have people not judging, just observing
Mm-hmm.
people who sit in front of this screen all day, every day. And you wonder why they think the way they think. And you wonder why they do the things that they do because they are being programmed. We have tunnel vision, and we don't know to come out of that vision until we see someone like Rahsaan Liddell, who tells us that there's possibilities in other parts of the world.
Yes, they
And you don't have
absolutely.
to go there. You can do armchair traveling. You travel to China right here. Actually, you're in China right now.
Yeah. Yeah. How about it? How about it? Yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of one of the reasons why I created Global Pathways. That's why it exists. I created it after returning from China, and I saw this gap. Okay, I
Mhm.
saw a gap. The gap between these global opportunities, if you will, on one side, and on the other side, who actually had access to those opportunities.
Okay.
Okay, so the work that I do seeks to close this gap. Um, you know, um, and if I could just kind of talk a little bit about my experience while I was in China.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do. We need to know.
Yeah. So a lot of times, some of it was, quite interesting, as you might imagine, but not to, but what I want to do is I want to give your audience just a little bit of an experience. Yeah. Okay. Right. That's where I'm going with this. Right.
Thank you.
Okay. So look, first of all, as you might imagine, I was noticed everywhere I went.
Of course.
Okay.
Tall, dashing, handsome young man. Of course, you were noticed. With no hair on
Okay.
your head. Of course,
Yeah.
you were noticed.
Heavily pigmented. That
Yes, sir.
also,
Yes, sir.
you know,
A melanated man.
yes, yes. So I
Okay.
stood out everywhere I went. I was noticed everywhere. People would be, they would stare. They'd always want to take pictures. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so I was easily remembered. I was easily
Mm-hmm.
remembered. So there was a lot of curiosity, but it wasn't hostility. I want to be
Oh,
hostility.
it
You
was
know,
only
it
curiosity,
was curiosity, but
not hostility.
none whatsoever.
Say that. Yes, sir.
So, because many Chinese people, especially at the time that I was there, it's changed a little bit now. More, of us are traveling to China, but at that time, most Chinese people had never met a
Mm-mm.
foreigner before,
Mm-mm.
let alone, an African American, a
Right.
Black American, so that was a big thing for them. When I went, I let them know that I was from Chicago,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't kind of mention my background, but before I came to China, when I graduated from the university. Oh, wait a minute, let me just back this all the way up, so I can shout out to Dr. Lenore. I'm a proud Lindblom alumni. Okay, all right. So swoop to any of my swoop buddies out there. What's going on, Lindblom? Graduated Lindblom, and then I went over to Loyola University. And during my last year at Loyola University, I got an internship with ESPN.
Okay.
Yeah, worked with ESPN for a couple of years, and then this opportunity presented itself to teach in China. And so when I went over, they knew that I worked for ESPN, right? They knew I
Okay.
was from Chicago. Okay.
Okay.
So, they automatically thought I was Jordan. They thought I
You
was,
took the words right out of my mouth. Are you Michael Jordan? Do you know Michael Jordan?
they
Do you
thought
know
I
Oprah Winfrey?
was right. So they thought I was Jordan, and they forced me. And I'm not kidding when I tell you they forced me to play on the basketball team. Now I cannot hoop. you so but again, that's so coming from Chicago and
Wow.
Jordan and ESPN, they just automatically assume those things. So but again, this is just the information that they have. But I guess one of the most important things I like to share is that I realized when I was there, I wasn't only representing myself, but I was representing all Black Americans. I was representing Chicago. And so sometimes I did a really good job at that, and sometimes not so good. But it was an authentic experience.
You did your best.
I did do absolutely my
You did
best.
your best.
I
That's
did
all you can do.
absolutely my best. Yeah. So
And your best foot forward always come, not always, but sometimes comes from not being sure or being unsure. And it's okay to be unsure.
yeah.
Because sometimes you just have to depend on the spirit to guide you and guard you and direct you. And I am being directed to Chicago to China to see what our comments are. Okay, Miss AJ Strike 21, or Mr. I'm sorry, not Miss. Sorry about that. Chicago to China. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Colleen. So it says Lawrence Leno. Okay, now who's Colleen? Is that somebody you know? I have no idea. Maybe you know because I don't. Uh,
Uh,
Frequencies and vibrations control more than people understand. Both of you are all blah, blah, blah. Both of you all are so on track. Yeah, I'm still learning every day. You think you know something, the older you get, the more you realize you don't know nothing. You just think you know something. Asada, my sister from another mister, says, from what I overstand, China visited Venezuela the day before the USA invaded and started bombing. Did the USA know that? Hmm. I always count on my girl Asada to bring something.
Sister Sada.
Your sister Sada bring some up here. We need to think about that for a minute. Thank you for bringing that to your attention. And while I'm bringing this to your attention, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'm not going to put it on the internet. You need not worry, Asada. This sister has taught me so much about cryptocurrency education. We have been so left behind, as Iyanla Van Zant would say, until today. Because today we have a leader, someone who is honest, has integrity, and will show you. Because I've been bit by the bugs, not once, but twice. And this sister saved the sister. So if you want some information, DM me and I might share the link with you. That's all I can say, because we get some crazy people in there too. So thank you, sister. Appreciate that. And moving on, we got more comments. I don't know what that was, but I guess you forgot to type something in there. Beverly, who was this? Oh, Swoop.
Hey.
Hey, Swoop.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you this morning. Viata says, I traveled through China for 8 days with a tour group of about 10 people. About 10 years ago. My dark-skinned husband was especially a standout, and people wanted pictures with us. Loved the people, but the atmosphere was polluted in several locations with no restrictions on smoking. Oh, they smoke, they puff until they pass out. Has that changed any? That's a good question. Has that changed any?
Yeah, they have added some restrictions as it relates to smoking. At one time when I was there, she's right. Smoking, restaurants, on the bus, hey, no big deal. You weren't allowed to. Well, I taught at. Well, yeah, you couldn't smoke in the classroom, although some professors did at the school that I taught at. Because Asian culture. Chinese culture. It was one of the most surprising things when I was there. When you start engaging in a conversation with someone, the first thing that they do is pull out a cigarette and hand it to you.
Oh,
it's that much of the culture. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Standard procedure.
I don't know if I want to go to China because I got an issue with smoke. Anywho, I don't know. Maybe I'd be on the outside. I don't know. Executive producer of the Female Solution, Dr. Naima Latif, says that I experienced that in China also. People ran up to me in the street wanting to take selfies with me. We are more phenomenal than we will ever realize, but that is how it all gets started. So take your time. If you are thinking of going abroad, you need to hear what this man here has to say. We got other comments here, and it says, when my sister Barbara went to China, she wears locks, and they thought she was Whoopi Goldberg. So I guess I'm gonna be Whoopi Goldberg mama, huh? I mean, okay. We gonna come back with some more information for you.
That's fine. And it looks like, do you have the video of some of the work that I did?
I sure have, and we got 2 minutes. Lord have mercy. Let me get out of here and go down to the video. And tell us right quickly what this is.
This is just a copy of my foreign expert certificate, my license that was issued to me by the Education Bureau for the Chinese government.
Okay, is this the one I'm going to play right here?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. This is, the English will come in shortly.
Chinese to Chinese 我会说一点点中文。中国朋友们，你好。你为什么汉语这么好？我住在中国4年多。哇，对。How many years you learn Chinese? 3年。哇，3年。太厉害了，汉语真的很好哎。
当橄榄球的呐喊穿越大洋，传进中国年轻人的心里，这就不仅是一场文化的出海，而更是一场体育的。
Okay, I'm going to have to put that on my blog because it's 7:59 and the show is over at 8 and Naima will kill me if I'm late. Okay, I just want to share that with you, but I need you to give us a closing thought. Anything and everything after this show is going to be on our blog at zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com and also on our Tumblr. Tumblr.com. Go ahead, give us a closing thought.
I just wanted to say again, Zelda, thank you for the platform. Give me an opportunity to talk about global pathways, education, and publishing. If people are interested in Mandarin, if they're interested in Chinese culture, global citizenship education, I encourage them to connect with us at our website, www.globalpathwayseducation.org.
All right. Thank you so very much.
Absolutely. I've got a book that I'd like to talk about.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have you come back next month. Same time. Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds
Thank
good.
you so much. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, stay tuned to the Female Solution. And don't go away because there's good promo at the end.